drop for deletion, to delete something, and truncat, it's to remove in one step. For example, إذا درنا delete drop table راح تسوبريما كامل هي بلا structure تاعها. Par contre, truncat, it will remove all rows الداتا كامل تروح بس على structure تاع لا table تبقى. Okay, so it can serve also as data manipulation language. It's a sort of instructions for adding, delete, and querying data such as a select, insert, update, delete. We will use them in the next tasks. We have also data control language. It's to manage access control, like grant and revoke. Grant is to like give privileges to users. Last time we have logged with a system, the user system. بصح قلت لكم we can create another users. So those users اللي حنكريوهم نقدروا نديرهم des privilèges with grant some privileges to specific user. Revoke باش نحو لهم هذوك les privilèges if you want to. Okay, so we will start with task 1. Yes?
Can you repeat the last comment?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so I said that SQL serve also as data control language. What does that mean? It means we manage access control of some users. For example, we have a lot of tables. حابين نليميتيو l'accès to some specific users. We have, for example, like for persons إذا ماناش حابين يكون عندهم لاكسي كاملة بس بدوني نقدروا بجراند ندير لهم لاكسي لسون تيبلز برك ولا دي بريفيليج باش يكريي ولا يسوبريميو something. Revoke باش نحو لهم هذاك البريفيليج اللي مدينين. We'll see them in I think lab 4 or something. We'll see them in detail. Don't worry about them now. Okay, so we will start with task 1. Well, basically, yes, try to launch كما درنا la fois passée SQL Plus with your CMD as we did last time. So open your command prompt and try to follow with me. Enter the username, which is system, and your password. Okay, and now you are connected. Okay, so after verifying the username and the password, yes, the prompt will appear. Start a spool in a directory, as we did last time. You can start a spool and execute this. Did basically last time, so there is no need to repeat it. For those who didn't do it, to execute, just use arrobas fichier. You will find this file in lab 1 كاين ليان وين تيليشارجيوه this file for those who didn't attend ولا. For those who did it last time, basically most of you درتوه, so you can skip this. So try to open the file in your software. Yes, you can ask without waiting. Sorry?
باش نعاودو نديرو سبول هذيك
It's in the first theory. Okay?
وي اسكو سي بوسيبل تفكرينا كيفاش نديروها
Yeah, sure. Just write spool and the file, for example, I want to save it in, let's say, I have this, I just copy the path, and I have this, already have a file saved here. So, yes, and I have the file. I will just copy the path and the name of the file without extension, okay? This is the path where I want to save the file save. The file save هذا قلنا .lst. إذا ما درناش extension تقدروا ديروا .txt حيت كيكون فيشي تكست بس إذا ما درتوش باغ ديفو حيكون lst. Okay. Start the spool. Donc chaque instruction نديروها حتنجسترا في save هي باوتبوت تاعها. Okay, so we started the spool. And now we have to open TP Oracle the file. To execute it, as I said last time, okay? ديروا arrobas والشومة تاع الفيشي. arrobas والشومة تاع الفيشي وين حطيته، اوكي؟
مادام نديرو اروباز ونديرو الشومه تاع اسمو تاع الفيشي تاع اس كيو ال هذا
وي وي اكزاكتومون وي بصح بليكستونسيون، اوكي؟
مادام كيفاش تفتح لك في اس كود؟
فتحتو هذا الفيشي هنا. You can just go to the file, for example, الفيشي هذا هو. And just with any software, well, I don't know.
مادام نفتحو ديريكت بي اس كود ولا لازم نديرو في سي ام دي كيما قلت هنا؟
لا تقدر تفتحو في اس كود باش تشوف بور فيجواليزي باك واش فيه، سينو باش يتيكزيكوتا لازم سي ام دي كيما قلت لكم اروباس.
اوكي
ديروا اروباس والشومة باغ اكزومبل. You can just, it's the same path. Okay, so arrobas, the path, and the name of the file, it's tp script. C'est bon. Execute هكا. So basically I've created the tables before, so that's why. File, you will find something like this. We have drop index, but the indexes here مازال ما كليناهمش. That's why less errors. We did it last time. So we have drop and create. So the question says to classify those instructions, whether they are data definition language, data manipulation, or data control. So basically, as we said, the create and drop are data definition language. Those are DDL instructions. Say verify all of the instructions file that have been executed. I didn't know last time. Are these instructions data definition language, manipulation, or control? So basically, we have create and drop. So those are data definition language. So what are the different tables in the here we have tables. We have the table film. We have jour, produit. Yes. Yes, we have three tables. So we start by the table. The first table. So the first table, film, holds information about films, okay, including the title, la durée, nationalité ou non réalisateur. So to create a table, we have some syntax, yes, syntax to respect. So to create a table, we have create table. This is a keyword. This is a keyword, and you have the name of the table. You can name it wherever you want. And then the attributes. Those are attributes. So we have titre, the attributes, and their type. So here, varchar means titre is going to be a string with a length maximum 14. Not so here when we enter values on that in the next lab, inshallah, if we enter a film with a titre is null, it cannot be entered, okay, because it's set to not null, and it's set as primary key. So the primary key cannot be duplicated and cannot be null. درتو كلي بريمات l'étranger في الكور, isn't it?
Oui.
Yes, so the title of the film, the duration of the film in minutes. We have nationality of the film, non réalisateur, name of the director, and we have titre as a primary key. So to create, to set a primary key constraint, we have the keyword constraint, and you can name it wherever you want. The keyword primary key, and you have the attribute. In the same manner, we create the others. We have the table jour. This table represents the actors of the film. They have acted in. So we have acteur ou titre. An actor can appear in multiple films, of course, and a film can have multiple actors as well. In the same manner, we have the name of the attribute, the type, and any constraint we can set. We have not null, titre also not null. So we have here two constraints. We have a primary key and a foreign key. So a primary key combination between non-acteur and titre, and another foreign key constraint, titre. It references the table film. So any title that exists in here in the table jour must be exist here in film because it's referenced. So we cannot have value in titre which is not available here. This is we will go back to this later. We have also the table produit. The same manner, we have the attributes, the types, and the constraints. So in order to see this in CMD, we have to...
Madame,
Yes?
c'est quoi constraint?
Une contrainte.
وشنو التيب تاعها باغ اكزومبل؟
وشنو التيب تاعها؟ تقدر تكون primary key, foreign key, we have check, we have كاين بزاف constraints. Here, yes. بعد حنزيدو نديرو check, and there is unique, there is not null, there is default. Yes, so yes, you have to use describe in order to describe the table. So describe the name of the table, and you will have here the attributes and the types, and if it's null or not. And this way you can visualize the attributes of any table. Describe or disk.
مادام s'il vous plaît هادي حنا نديروها في VS Code من بعد كنديروها في CMD.
Yes, كما تحبي. Yes, you can save them in VS Code first. باش هكا يكون عندك. Yes.
D'accord, merci.
Je vous en prie. So what are the relationships between these tables? So we have the table film, as we said. We have the table film is central to this schema, of course, with multiple other tables referencing it. دنا reference in table jour, دنا تاني reference in la table film, produit. With the foreign key. So we have the table jour. It links actors to film, allowing many-to-many relationship between actors and films. We said like an actor can play many films and the film can have many actors. So produit, this table connects producers with films. It's also allowing many-to-many relationship. So a producer can produce many films and a film can have many producers. This is the relationship between them. So here, what is the purpose of indexes created in this database? And what are these indexes? Okay, we'll go back to the indexes created here. Yeah, this is the first one. So what is an index? I'll give you an analogy, okay? Imagine with thousands of books. If the books are arranged randomly in the shelves, les étagères, finding a specific book, for example, you are searching for a specific book, it would require you to scan every shelf until you find it if the books aren't organized, okay? This would take, of course, a lot of time to do it. And now imagine the library has a catalog. This catalog is the index that tells you exactly which shelf and drawer the book is located on. Now, like the index organizes all the books, like the class of history, novels, and so on. So with this catalog, you can go directly to the book without wasting time searching. So the index here is doing the same thing. An index in a database is like that library catalog. It's a data structure, generally binary tree or hash table. It's a data structure that helps the database quickly locate and retrieve a specific row from a table without scanning the entire table. Without an index, the database would have to scan every row in the table to locate what we are searching for, which is slow, of course, especially in large tables. So the purpose of indexes is to speed up search and efficient data retrieval and optimize performance of databases. So here, we are creating an index with create index. This is a keyword. And here you can name it wherever you want. On the table, jour, by sorting all titles in this table in alphabetic order. And now we have ascending order. We sort them in alphabetic order so we can speed and optimize the search for any title in the table jour. That's the purpose of an index. The same thing here. in produit. So we can optimize the search of any title in the table produit. Okay, next question. Yeah, I hope it's clear so far. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate.
مادام
Yes.
كيفاش نسورتيو لي تايبل
We are not
فونكسيون
we are not sorting them. كي نكريو l'index كي درنا create index, it will automatically sort them in ascending order. ندير ان اوردر الفابيتي كيما القاموس كيما ديكسيونير. هكا باش
فونكسيون اس سي سورتيهم.
Yeah.
داكور.
هنا ascendant order. لو كان كانت this descendant order.
داكور.
Yes. Okay, so we have task 2, creating tables. So they ask to add the following tables to the database from task 1. So the database déjà فيها 3 tables. فيها film, jeux and produit. So we will add some tables. Here, add the table séance with the following attributes, ensuring to include integrated constraints. Okay, so we have attribute titre, which is a primary key and a foreign key table. We have non-sal, hors début, et vers version. We have another table vue, فيها non-spectator, titre. We have the table M, non-amateur ou titre. So every table has some attributes and some constraints that we have to respect. Okay, let's start. I forget if it's already, yeah, it's already created here. In my case, I will drop them to create them again with you. So we have the table. So okay. Okay, they said so. The table séance فيها titre, non-sal, au début. So you have to. Now it's already creating here. Yeah, it's already here. So you can see here, create table. Of course, it's a keyword and name of the table. We have the first attribute titre with the type and not null constraint. The second attribute, when you set here, for example, 14, it's not necessarily 14, but it can be up to 14. So it can be less, but it cannot be more. We have hors début, it's an integer. We have many types. We have, but the most common are varchar for string, also, and datetime in other databases like MySQL, I think. But here in Oracle, I think it's daily. We have version, varchar, So we set the two constraints, primary key and foreign key, as they said in the question. So we have primary key. We have titre as primary key. We have also non-sal as a primary key. It's a combination of three attributes. We have our debut, tiny primary key. So we have all the three here. And we have also a foreign key, which is titre. It references the table field. Okay, go ahead and create it. Okay, the table is created. I will let you some time to create the tables.
مدام كاين كش اكستنسيون لازم نطلعوها ولا نخدمو ديرها
وين؟
في اس كود
No, there is, I think.
ما كاش اكستنسيون نديرو ديرها
No.
صح
يديروا برك. So it's an editor, okay? So you can use another one. Not specifically. You're not gonna run them here.
صح
Madam,
Yes?
we have to open the file before we do that.
Yeah, try to open it. Why? Like to store all your queries here. باش يكون عندكم بلاصة واحدة تريفيزيو بهم après.
I couldn't.
Because here you can save. Sorry?
I couldn't open this file.
Really? تيليشارجيتو من لو سيت هذاك اللي بعثه لكم.
Yeah.
And you don't have a text editor? Any text, like Notepad or any other?
Yeah, I have Notepad. I opened it in Notepad, but when I did Arobaz, I couldn't find the repertoire.
If you download, if it's in downloads, just copy it from there.
The
إذا
path.
عندك وين؟ إذا عندك Windows 11, just right click, خرج لك copy path, تلقاه الفوق. Here, something here, somewhere here. You will find the path here. إذا عندك Windows 11, like copy path from here. You can copy path from here. إذا عندك Windows 10. If Windows 11, just the right click, يخرج لك. كيفاش تكوبي الباث.
مادام خرجت لي في CMD خرجت لي enable to open file.
It means you have some error, whether in the maybe in the path. Path ما لازمش يكون فيه des espaces, okay? Parce que parfois ما يقبلش هكاك. يكون فيه des erreurs.
اوكي نشوف مادام.
Yes. سينو فتحوا هنا CMD direct. إذا عندك un dossier فيه les fichiers par exemple, je sais pas BD ولا فتح CMD هنا juste here and write CMD هنا. هنا ما كاين دير الباث سي بون ديجا في الدوسيي اوكي. You are already in.
نكتب النمبر.
Oui, تكتب nom برك سي سا. تكتب arrobas ولا نون تاع لو فيشي. The last table has only 2 attributes, so ما فيهاش constraints for now. So here we separate them with commas, but the last one ما لازمش نديرو. Okay. It's not like C. Every line لازم تخلص point. So here is just to separate them. So here we don't have any constraints according to the series. Yes, we just have two attributes, strings of 13 and 20 characters. Have you done with this? Can we move to the other question?
S'il vous plaît, vous avez créé la base de données.
In my
Oui.
database.
Oui.
Yes, I've created it. I just dropped those tables, options in Korea home again. But yeah, basically everything is created. Yes, on this table as well. Yes. Now I have all the tables created. Can move to the other question. Okay, here, so I asked you store these instructions in the file to have all in one. Fichier اللي téléchargé زيدوا له create these tables qu'on vient de faire. Donc, dans question 6, we have to create a synonym for science table. So synonym is something we reference a table with. For example, إذا حابين نديرو select or something, we use this name. Of course, we have to use this name. But once we create a synonym, we can refer to it by that synonym. Okay. So soit نستعملو séance, soit هذاك le synonyme. So to create a synonym, you have create synonym. This is synonym. You can name it wherever you want. Let's say séance. For the name of the table. So from now, you can refer to it as this. For example, if you want to hide, like this is basically like used in companies and advanced like databases and big databases for security and so. So you can create a synonym for a table to refer to it as this. إذا كان جوغ النوم تاع لا طابل طويل ولا something like this, you may need for table. I have some typos. Synonym. Yes. Yes. So this is created. So in order to create a public one, so when we execute this create synonym just without public, the synonym is only accessible to the user who created it. For example, Nana logged with system. So it's only accessible by the user system. Par contre, إذا درنا create public, the word public synonym, like sales public or something like this. Public for system, which is the user dot sales. Here it will be a public one, which is accessible by all the users of the database, not necessarily the one who created the synonym. I don't think it's clear from in here. I'll show it to you now. Yes, that's it.
منظم
Yes.
منظم سيكول البيت هنا كي درناه public.
كي درناه public باش يكون accessible by all users of the database. Pour l'instant, on a utilisé واحد user, which is the system. But if we create other users, وحبينا يكون accessible, هذا synonym, نديروها public. If we want to be accessible by just the user اللي كرياه, نديروش public. That's all.
D'accord, merci.
The one who is asking, what is your name? The guy اللي سقساني داوين, what is your name?
ميغامات عبد الرحمن.
How?
ميغامات.
Okay. Okay, next question. Yeah, we have ended this task. So task 3. Question 1, create an index for a séance table on titre attribute in ascending order. Okay, so we said when we want to create an index, we have a keyword, create index, and we have the name of the index. You can name it wherever you want, but here the no like pertinent, okay, for readability. Like ascendant order on the table. On, so on is also a keyword. On the table that we want to create an index on, which is séance in this case. And of course, the attribute, which is titre, and this keyword, it means in ascending order. We have the index created.
مدام
Yes.
لي نوفيل تاب لازم حنا نعاودو نكتبوهم في الفيشي اس كيو ال هذاك.
Yes.
دونك كي كتبناهم دوكا في الكوموند واش يصرى اكزاكتومون؟
واش يصير اكزاكتومون حيتكرياو لي طاب هنا جوست باش نغارديو لو سكريبت برك هنا ما يصرى والو. اوكي. In order to create the table لازم تيكزيكوتي في SQL Plus. Apparemment l'appel حتخلص dans 15 minutes. I don't know why. D'habitude ما يليميتيش جوجل ميت. إذا خلصت حنعاودو نرولونسيو. Okay. So stay here. I don't know if it's for free. It's premium. C'est pas grave. نعاود نبعث لكم لين واحد آخر سينو. I'll try to create another link. نبعثو هنا في لي كومنتار. Here's the link, okay. Donc يخلص حنبدي معايا. يخلص الميتين. Okay, so we created the first index. So the second one, create an index for view table. View on the titre attribute, this time in descending order. So same, we always use create index, the name of the index. Descending order on table, which is view here. And we have the attribute titre, this time in descending order. And the index is created. So the last index, I think, create an index for M table on titre in ascending order. So the same process, we are just repeating create index. Can name it. Yeah, so the SQL, these SQL instructions must be saved in the file to have everything in one file. En tout cas, نبعث لكم la correction après. Do you have any questions so far before moving to task 4? No, okay. So the same thing, try to save all the instructions in the file every time. So we have the first question, modify a titre attribute in mtable to increase the length by 20 characters. So when we first created the table, the attribute كيفاش كان, they said, where is the table? Yes, in titre. Yeah, so it was only 20 characters. So the attribute titre here is a string of 20 characters. So now we want to increase it by another 20 characters. Donc la taille really 14 characters. So how can we do so? With alter. Alter is to modify. Okay, it's like modify. So alter table, the table that we want to modify, which is M in this case. Modify is a keyword, okay? Modify. We have the attribute that we want to modify. Varchar. Donc 20, 020, que les count. Yes. And you have table altered. It means table modified. We just increased the length. I don't know if it's clear here. I think it's small.
والله ما شفتي فارتشار قدامها درتي 2
It's a type. It's a type here. Okay, in Oracle.
بصح فارتشار يا اخي بلا ما فيش 2 هذا لا
There are some softwares with ما يكتبوش, but here this is the type in Oracle.
داكو.
Okay, next question. Add a constraint to a table cells to ensure that hors début is always greater than 13. So here it's a constraint. Imagine foreign key and primary key. We have a constraint check. Okay, so we check that every data we enter in hors début doesn't come greater than 13. If you try, for example, to insert or update any row, soi-disant فيها data, to update ولا enter any row with this attribute hors début greater than less or equal than 13, Oracle will reject it. Will reject the operation because we have a constraint that checks that this attribute must be, the value of this attribute must be greater than 13. So to do so, we use the constraint check. So since it's modifying, we use alter. It's always to modify the schema of any table. Alter table. Add constraint. So alter table is a keyword. Here the name is of the table. Add constraint also is a keyword. We can name it wherever we want, like check or check. What was the name of the hors début? Check is a keyword. هذه هي la contrainte. Check. What do we need to check? We need to check that hors début is greater than 13. Hors début. I made an error. What was the name of the attribute? Just copy it from here. Yeah. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Just greater than 13. I forget the parentheses. Yes, table altered. Okay, next question. It's also a check, I think. Add constraint. Yeah, we have another constraint to séance table to ensure that Sal is either Ibn Zaydun or Ibn Khaldun. Yes. So we have two choices. So the name of the value of this attribute must be either one of these choices. So if we enter another choice, wherever it is, it will be rejected because we have a constraint. We use check also, alter table. So whenever you want to add a constraint, you use alter. The name of the table, add constraint. Name it, I don't know. Check name cell. The keyword check, which is the constraint. We enter the parentheses and we have cell. I hope I'm not making mistakes in the name of the attribute. It has to be in these two values. And just copy them to avoid errors. Oh my God. Just copy one by one. I'm just going to think I have them here. Yes. So here we are giving just two choices of non-cell, whether it's this or this. Otherwise, it will be an error. The table is altered. The next question, we have another constraint to séance table to set the default value of version, which is here, to original version. So by default, when you don't enter a value, if إذا ما درناش la contrainte not null, it will be a null value. إذا ما فيهاش la contrainte كيما هنا. كاين إذا ما درناش not null, it will be null إذا ما we didn't enter any value when inserting.
le nom de la salle.
تاع la salle. Yes. Yes, so here we are adding a constraint to ensure that the attribute non-sal اللي كاين في séance is either this value or this value. So it should be either is Ibn Zaydun or Ibn Khaldun. We have only two values, so it has to be either this or this. In order to do it, we have to set a check constraint. So we have alter table. We set always whenever we want to set a new constraint, we use alter table, the name of the table that we want to modify, add a constraint. This is also a keyword. Here you can name it whatever you want. The constraint check. This check will check every time at every insert. When we insert new data, we'll do update. إذا كان عندنا déjà data. Every time it will check non-sal is one of those two values. Otherwise, it will be rejected. إذا ما كانش واحد من هاد les valeurs, Oracle will reject this update or this insert. That's it.
نفسهم يقولوا لي invalid identifier.
Identify. شوف إذا ما غلطش في la syntax. I will send it to you in the chat. Okay, next one, we said it's another constraint on the same table. So this, it should set as a default value of the attribute version, OV, which stands for original version. Because by default, it will be null, okay? Parce que ما درناش la contrainte تاع not null. كي ما نديروش la contrainte تاع not null, by default, it will be null. So احنا حابين نبدلو by original version. In case insert درنا data, it will be overwritten. إذا ما درناش حتكون par défaut حتكون original version. Yes, it will be original version. So to do so, we have to alter table as usual. Alter table. Yes, modify. The attribute was called, I think, version. Yes, default. Default is a keyword, so we set the default, which is a constraint. We set it to OV, stands for original version. Yes, the table is altered. Whenever we enter data in the table séance, إذا ما درناش la version حتكون by default original version. Otherwise حتكون هذيك la valeur. Have insert. You can see it here in more clear way. Next one, it's another constraint to the table M to ensure that no amateur starts with R. So no amateur should start with R. ما يهمش واش يجي après, but it should start with R. To do so, we have to alter the table as usual. Alter table. Where's the foundation? Okay. So alter table with the table M, yes. M, we should add a constraint. The constraint, the check, no amateur. Yeah, so no amateur should start with R. So this constraint should check. Just copy. Where is it? Yes. Yes. No amateur, we use the keyword like. It means it should match like anything like starts with R, and it can be any number of character after it. So it should just start with R and anything after it. So this to say anything after it. هذا percentage. It means anything after R it should just start with R. And the other letters doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what are the letters, or the number of letters. Table is altered. You can see it here in more clear way. Yes. That's it. So anything like this should match. Starts with R and any letter after it. That's why we use the word like. It means anything like this should satisfy the constraint. Okay. Question 6. So they ask to remove the above 4 constraints. So the constraint 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. The constraint we should remove them. So in order to remove a constraint, you need the name of the table that was created in. For example, we want to delete the constraint that checks whether hors début is greater than 13 or not. So we just need the name of the table and the name of the constraint. You just have to remember the name and you can drop it. So in order to drop it, we use drop. Well, alter first, alter table. The table which is sales and then drop. The name of the constraint, I don't without any problem. It's just a matter of syntax, okay? With time, you will be familiar with syntax. So don't worry for now.
بس
Yes?
كيفاش نحو لا كونترانت تاع لا فالور هذيك باغ ديفو؟
نحل. Okay, I will write it. دوك نحكوا ليها. Wait a second. So we said yes, the for هذه نحيناها. Donc la troisième. The same thing. Alter table. It was created on séance as well. Drop constraint. The name of the constraint. What was the name? This. Yes. It was check non sal. Check non sal. And it's altered. And now your question. So this, yes, the default value. So in order to remove this, we have true table and séance modify. What was the name of the attribute? Yes, version. Now we say the default to null. Default to null. هي كانت par défaut null. puis احنا درناها original version. Now we return it back to null. That's how we remove the constraint. Here we dropped 3, still 1. I think yes, the constraint of, yeah, that starts with R. With the same manner, we have alter table M this time. Drop constraint. So the constraint, yeah, check the amount. Yes, that's it. Now the table is altered. Question 7. Change the data type of au début attribute in séance table to string. So it was integer, as I remember. Yes, it was an integer. So now we want to change it to a string, which is varchar of 6 characters. Yes, of 6 characters. So we have to alter table, table cells, modify. What was the name? Yes. Yes, it was an integer varchar of 6 characters. That's it. Okay, next question. Add prénom amateur attribute to M table. So M table was created with just 2 attributes. Now they ask to add another attribute, which is a prénom amateur of type string with 13 characters. So we have to alter the table, of course. Table, add, and the name of the attribute that we want to add.
Le nom تاع la table madame.
Le nom?
تاع la table.
Ah, yes, thank you. It was M. Yes. So the type, yes, the name of the attribute and the type, which is a string of, they said 13 characters. The table is altered. You can do describe you will find that the attribute is added, the new attribute. The other question. They asked to remove it again. Okay. We alter the table, alter table. And we drop. What are we trying to drop here? An attribute, it means a column. So we use the keyword drop column and the name of this attribute that we want to. Table is, and then you describe again. We will find the attribute is dropped. Oh, okay, question 10, I think, yes. Remove the not null constraint from hors début attribute in séance table. So they ask to remove the constraint. So when we once created the table, we set that constraint because it's one of the attributes of the primary key. So it has to be not null. So here they ask to remove it. Enter table. Table name, which is sales. Modify the name of the attribute. So we set it to null. Not null. Table is altered. Next question. 11. Add not null constraint again. Okay, let's add it again. Same thing, alter table. Do not null برك. Yes.
يعني في عاود describe séance كانت مازالها not null hors début.
I didn't understand the question.
كي درنا رجعناها نول اتريبي هذاك ايرور اللي
Yes.
بصح
Yes.
كي ديسكرايب سيونس خرجت لي نوت نول. لازم قبل نموديفيوها في الكود هذاك اس كيو ال.
No, خرجت لك table altered. Okay, let's try it here. Describe, what was the name of the table? Sales, yes. This. Yes, not basically because it's a primary key. That's why. So the primary key can never be null. That's why it's one of the primary key. When we created the table, we set it as a primary key. That's why it couldn't be modified. It's a primary key. And you know primary key cannot be null. Okay? That's why. So, yes, we were in au début on a donné un null and they asked to set it to normal again. You just have to make not null here. And it will be not null again. No, basically it didn't change because it's a primary key. So yes, add no amateur and titre attributes of mtable as primary key of mtable. Yes, I think mtable we've created it without any constraint. Yeah. Now we're adding a constraint, a primary key constraint with two attributes, titre and no amateur. So we have to alter the table. Constraint, we can name it primary key. Primary key, which is a keyword. And we have now the attributes. Here it's a combined key and the table is altered. Yeah, the goal of this task is just to familiarize yourself, to be familiar with how to add and remove and do all stuff. We'll need them in the next labs, inshallah. So try to be familiar with the syntax to not have difficulties later. So 13, it was add titre attribute. Yeah, as a foreign key here. Add titre attribute of mtable as a foreign key, referencing table. Same thing, we alter the table. Add constraint. Foreign key. Yeah, it's referencing film. The reference here is film. As the table is altered. We are almost done. So 14. Remove the primary key and the foreign key from the table. Have we created them? Kind of flat tab, I think. We didn't. Yes. So the name is you have to drop them. So after the table, as usual, table is drop constraint. And the other thing is the other constraint is the primary key, the foreign key. Same thing. Alter table, drop constraint, and the name of the constraint. And it will be dropped. And last question, reinstate the primary key and the foreign key again. So we have to add them again. We have to alter the table. The table here. Add constraint. The constraint of the primary key first. Primary key, it was, what was the attributes? Yeah, no spectator. Just copy them. Yeah. Yeah, the primary key is set again. We have to set again the foreign key. Table view at constraint was everything. Forward step. Reference. References, the film. Here we are done. Do you have any questions before we end the session? No questions?
مدام
Yes.
علاش ديك ريفيرنسينغ على برايمري كي باش تبين باللي على فورين باش تبين باللي فورين كي
Yeah, it's a foreign key. When foreign key وش معناتها؟ another primary key, not necessarily, but primary key of another table, which must be unique. لها reference to the table. هذيك. تسمى titre, we are referencing another table, which is film in this case. titre.
بصح هذيك تسمى الكي هذيك فيلم تيبل فيلم.
What do you mean?
كي تقولي ريفيرنسينغ على فيلم تسمى الكي هذيك متميجرات من عند تيبل فين
Yes, exactly. Because view table, it keeps track of which spectators have seen which film. So we have to reference titre من عند la table film. And this table view keeps track of which spectators have seen that film.
داكور ميرسي مدام.
مدام
What is your name? عبد الرحمن. The one. Yes.
مدام
Yes.
مدام هادو شغل فيرتوال ماشي شغل ماناش نابليكو فيهم على عفسه فيزيك.
What do you mean?
I mean,
No, we have the database. We have it. No, ماشي virtual. What do you mean virtual?
الداتابيز هكا الداتابيز اللي نخدموا عليها شغل راهي.
It's created in Oracle.
اوكي زعما دوكا كان زعما
It's
نحبوا
created,
نكريو
yes.
وكان نحبوا نكريو دي زوتر اوتيليزاتور نقدروا.
Oui, bien sûr. بصح ماشي يكون عندهم لاكسي لي ميم تابل غير انت تمدوا لهم لاكسي.
يا نكريوهم ونمدوا لهم لاكسي.
Yes, you can with grant. Grant and you give them some privileges ويكون عندهم لاكسي لي تابل هادو اللي كرينا.
اوكي
Any other questions?
Madame,
Yes.
la question 3 تاع لا صال either تكون ابن خلدون or نسيت اسمها question 3
Yes.
ما
Yes, هادي.
مش مليح كيش جوغ الكود تاعها.
Okay. Okay. So here's the question. The question asks to make a constraint. Une contrainte اللي تفيريفي لنا اسكو نون سال راه ابن زيدون or ابن خلدون. So we can't go outside of these choices. ندير غير دو شوا. It's either this or this. It's either this value or this value. That's why we altered the table to add a constraint. سميناها check. So the constraint should check whether non-sal is in this value. So in you have a list. انت كي ديري insert of new row ولا ديري update اذا كان عندك ديري data. هاد لا contrainte حتروح تشيكي اسكو non-sal راه in these two value. You have a list. هنا عندنا غير دو valeur. If it's this value or it's this value, it will accept your row. The data will be inserted. Otherwise, هيقولك the query is rejected. Oracle won't allow it because هنا درتي check, درتي a constraint that should check non-sal لازم تكون سوا هاد لا valeur سوا هاد لا valeur. You can't go other than these two values. You got it?
وي مدام. واذا درنا زعما باش زعما نقولوا بلي ما نقدرش تكون عندها هاد لافالا زعما نقولوا بلي لو نون دو صال ما يقدرش يكون ابن خلدون واش نديرو؟
Did it not in?
اوكي ميرسي.
Yes. Did it not work? The others? Any other questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, then we will stop here. See you next week, inshallah. And I will send you the link for the others, okay? بس هذا حيخلص maybe in some minutes. I will send you another link. Share it with them, please. The delegate. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, goodbye.